I was playing Diablo with you guys, and I'm like, I'm not sure how you guys aren't getting these concepts of the games. You're like,
we saw
I
it.
didn't even
We
know I
saw
was
it.
playing with you. I thought it was some random guy just being nice. I
Oh,
didn't
that
even
was-
realize it
that
was
was
you.
kind of fun because I saw you on my friends list. I'm like, oh, she's on. I'll go play with her. I didn't think anything of it.
He's telling me
In
I'm chanting
retrospect-
the wrong thing, and
In
You're like, this is a
retrospect,
really nice guy.
yeah, I'm like,
in retrospect, I should have thought a little bit about it. That some random person approaches you, like it doesn't tell you that your friend approached you. It just says that somebody else wants to add you.
and I told my daughter, I said, I don't know this guy. I said, but he's helping me. I said, because I didn't know how to get to the hidden layers.
I still don't.
And like,
Literally,
I'm just doing what it
So
tells
you
me.
thought
Like,
you thought a stranger came up to you and like, hey.
yeah,
go to the
I
hidden
thought he
layer?
was. Well, because like he's like, well, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm doing bounties right now. I was doing bounties, and
see, here, I was just like trying to help you out because you're my friend.
I had
and-
no idea it
Wanna
was
do a
him.
bounty.
I literally had no idea. I'm like,
But we did a hidden layer. Thing is, I could not pass that up. We literally, it opened up and we were right next to it. I'm like, fuck it, we're doing it. I don't care. The benefits outweigh the abruptness of just saying.
That's a big word, abruptness.
Yeah, like, I mean, well, fuck what it means. Basically, it's just that I didn't ask her if she wanted to. I just said we're doing it because there's the opportunities.
he's
for
like,
it.
sorry, I had to. I'm like,
There's too bad.
okay.
We
There's
gotta
too
do
much-
it. It's right there. Might as well do it. Right?
And then he's like, oh,
Yeah,
we got
exactly.
good loot. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I know nothing about the loot. Like, if it tells me, if it has a green arrow beside it, tell me that it's better than
See-
what I have on.
See, I'm the type of person like you. Like, if something popped up right in front of me, I'm just like, this thing is distracting me. I'm gonna finish what I'm doing now. You know, like I ain't doing this hidden layer because it's just a distraction for the game, trying to get me distracted so I don't finish my quest.
Well, we were working together, so like, and he had me join his clan, so I don't know if I just automatically had to go to him, like go with him, or I don't know.
You're
I
doing with
feel like I
noobs
just
right
said-
here, Nate.
I've decided something that unless I have a big group of people, I'm no longer creating a clan because it's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm part of a clan, and nobody ever plays it anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I think you were the only one that actually joined.
I just stopped playing it.
He stopped playing and didn't join, and then I couldn't get Kobe to join because I think did he stop playing too? Or?
Yeah,
He stopped playing too,
because
and-
he didn't want to pay money.
Well, it took up a lot of space on your phone, and I ended up downloading it on my tablet to play it
yeah.
because it was just too much space on my phone.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's still on my phone.
He's
I have it
that
for
Facebook.
PC, and honestly, despite the fact that the display is bigger, it's not really much better on the PC. Sure, the graphics look cooler, but it's the same fucking game.
I just feel
I
like
need the
there's
bigger
games on
screen.
Facebook that's better than that. I think.
I don't
But-
think. I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, I feel like they're more
Like
addicting.
Candy
you know?
Crush?
Yeah, Candy Crush.
Candy
and stuff
Crush.
Like that.
There's tons of games where I know tons of people that is the only reason that
And
they get on
I
Facebook.
I started getting hooked on Candy Crush, and I never played it before, and I'm just getting irritated with it.
I used to play it, but now I've been playing like the solitary and bingo where you could
I like
win
bingo.
money, but like I refuse to add money.
Yeah,
so
we
it's slowly I'm building up money, but it's
me and my fiance learned a lesson on that because I put in she was doing blackout bingo for a long time, and she put I think it was like $25 in it, and she just lost all of it, playing that blackout bingo.
I spent a lot of money on Kings of Avalon back in the day. Now I'm playing a similar game called Guns of Glory. The only money I've spent on it is the $1 I spent to get an extra builder so that I could build two things at once. And it's absolutely fucking necessary to play that game because everything requires this building and this building to be upgraded to build this one. I'm like, so I gotta upgrade two things at once to upgrade this other building. They should just default to two fucking builders. But no, they're gonna make you pay money. At least it's not the $4 that other games make you pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like $1 fucking dollar. I'm fine with that. It's ease of life, and I figure if your game's decent, $1 is pretty much nothing.
And then every game you even buy for the console, it ain't the full game. You gotta wait
Oh,
for
right.
I fucking hate a lot of stuff they've done to the console games where they've basically just killed anything that's
like even when that Diablo 4 comes out, I guarantee you it's not gonna be the full game.
there's gonna be season passes, there's gonna be
Yep,
extra
exactly.
stuff,
And that's
DLC.
how they make their money.
Problem is, back in the day when they first started this stuff, it was like, okay, here's the complete game. And then a year later, we got some extra fucking shit we want to throw in. Here's a DLC. No, it's here's a game that's half-ass, and
Yeah.
here's a $10 DLC to get the finished product.
We didn't even finish it where it's like not even like fixed. Like you can do all kinds of like
And then-
crazy lag
And the worst part is day one fucking bug fixes. Like, if you don't have internet, you're fucked. Because your game's gonna be buggy as all hell.
watch a day happens when, we're talking about like having no internet. CRollur's gonna buy himself a brand new game, and guess what? No internet to, finish installing and downloading. And he's gonna get irritated. He'll probably like chuck that thing out the window.
I feel like if the internet ever went out, all people would go crazy.
Yeah.
That would be a
feel
terrible thing. Not just like personally. I mean, obviously I grew up in a generation where we didn't have the internet. But I feel like even our generation is too dependent on the internet.
Everything's on the internet now. Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Everything's on the internet.
You're
Like at work, if we don't have internet, we couldn't run because like
or
tuggers run like those
yeah, GPS.
They
run on
should have,
those and
they should be on an internal network though, not the full internet. I mean, an EMP would still fuck that up, but if like the whole internet network went down, I feel like the internal network should work, but I don't think that's how it works.
No, they
Did
run
we
on
have that,
Wi-Fi
though?
actually.
Wi-Fi is not the same as the whole internet.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is a connection to a router. That's it. The router is then connected to the internet.
we had that though, where the internet went down at work, remember?
Yeah.
And they ended up sending us home because they couldn't run.
That's stupid. They should run on basically just
But that's no matter where you go.
Well, they spent millions of dollars on something that's not reliable.
But that's just like the software I'm currently using. Theoretically, it should work because it's on my laptop. But if it goes more than 30 days without an internet connection, it just stops fucking working. And I think that's stupid. Same with almost any mobile games, all that other stuff. Like without internet, nothing fucking works.
No, you're basically fucked. Especially in America when USA relied too much on,
I remember old GPS units. You could just run it and it would tell you. It would show you like a map. You could follow it. Now it has to have internet, otherwise it doesn't work. And I'm like, what the fuck? Even downloading it doesn't help.
Now with like computers and everything, like let's say a new system update comes up and you never do the system update, what would happen to your computer? It would just keep running, like slower and slower, or what?
Theoretically, absolutely nothing. But the second it got an internet connection at all, it would.
Basically have like 20 hours of updating and
Yeah.
do.
The actual operating system ones are actually decent because they don't require internet connection constantly. However, it will continuously ask for an update, regardless of whether there's an update or not.
Why?
Because there's a certain amount of time that it goes before it checks for an update, since they push them out once a month.
It's like your phone.
Oh, I never update my phone.
Phone always has an update.
Yeah, I never
When
update.
your phone gets hacked, dude, you can blame yourself for that one. I do want to talk about something else, though.
What's that?
Something that was brought up yesterday. I don't know, something about Visine and killing people. Or death, actually, I should say.
Visine can kill people.
Yes, I watch a lot of murder
Is
shows.
it like a bear mace or whatever? You just shoot in someone's eyes.
No. So, I am addicted to true crime TV. I love true crime. So, one of the stories was that this lady's husband like ended up getting really sick, and they ended up and he ended up dying. But they ended up figuring out what it was is if you take Visine and every day pour some into a drink, there's no taste to it, so you don't know what's in there.
Right.
But eventually, it's gonna make you sick. You're gonna end up dying.
What is it in the Visine that makes you sick?
I don't know.
They never said it in the show. Or...
I don't know. It was a while since I watched it, but we
Well,
were
you
just
said something about getting diarrhea if you do it.
like, yeah, if you do it, just like if
Well,
I
that-
put some in your beer right now,
Right.
you'll probably end up getting the shit.
So it's like a laxative.
But over time, it just ends up destroying your body, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, it kills your immune system and all that.
I think probably dehydration sets in first. I don't know what other side effects. I mean, it's full of chemicals, but if you're having diarrhea constantly, you're going to be dehydrated.
So
Right.
you're putting something with like a lot of chemicals in your eyes.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be using Visine.
Yeah,
a lot to
I would
begin with.
say like I'm
But
done
then
with
it's also
Visine.
not meant to be ingested either.
Right.
No.
It tells you not to.
I'll tell you what though, if I'm ever like hungover and I have red eyes, I ain't using Visine. I'm just gonna use, water.
I don't know. The only people I know that use Visine on a regular basis are stoners.
Yeah.
Other
There are
thing-
people that are, like they have like problems with,
Dry eyes.
dry eyes and they have to use Visine on a daily basis too. So
You said something about true crime things. Are you watching that, or are you doing true crime podcasts?
I watch it.
Okay, because there are also podcasts that do that.
I watch ID Network. That's like my favorite channel. Just watching that.
just got a question
Just
though.
interesting.
I just got a question with these shows or the episodes that you watch. How come none of that ever came into the news?
They do go in.
But it's never explained it as much as what the true crime TV does, right?
Well, usually for a news segment, you got like a couple minutes that to tell the story about something.
Yeah, but don't you think that
But-
like the news coverage should like investigate a little bit more too?
I think it just
No.
depends. There's tons of murders. You can't investigate
all of them.
Well, not
every
just-
single murder that happens.
Not just that, but it's the same thing with the ad that printed in a magazine how to make a hydrogen bomb. You don't want to tell people how to kill people.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
That's not the goal of this.
But I mean, if you want to kill somebody, you're going to kill somebody. Right?
It's-
It,
theoretically, yes, but you don't want to tell people how to do it because that makes it easier for them.
not necessarily. I mean, if you got those thoughts in your head,
You're gonna find a way.
you're going to find a way to kill
Yeah.
somebody. It's not. I don't feel like.
Speaking of that, you did mention something else yesterday about how not to get caught.
Oh my god, I gotta hear this one. I was not at work yesterday, so I gotta hear this. All right, go on.
Well, I mean, there's tons of ways that you cannot get caught, but like my ex, his family was pig farmers. They're farmers,
Right.
and they had like a pit where we would keep the extra like shit that we would eventually put out on the fields and stuff. So I could say that you accidentally fell into that pit. By the time an ambulance got out there, it's gonna be like quicksand, and you're gonna.
Sink right into
Because
it.
I mean, it was like, the hole's like 10, 12 feet. I don't know. It might be bigger than that. I don't know how big it was for sure. But you're going to sink into it and then you're going to suffocate. Or you could feed a body to a pig. The thing is, you always want to pull the teeth though.
Right. So if you want to get away with murder, you have to have a pig.
Not necessarily. There was also a thing, but I don't know how reliable this is. They said that, you bury the body vertical,
Vertical.
up and down.
Oh, okay, up and down.
Bury the body up and down.
Because if you lay
and
them
then-
like this, they float up, right?
Well, not that. Lay the body up and down, and then put like a dead animal on top of it.
To hold them down.
So if they're looking for the body or something, it'll come across like, oh, it's just a dog.
All right, so this smells like death right here, and yeah, it must be that squirrel.
I mean,
Well-
you're gonna dig it up, and then there's gonna be well,
You would use
dog.
you would use like a pet or something,
Like a dead dog.
because that would look like an actual burial of an animal. And yes, I have always heard I have heard of the idea of burying somebody underneath of a dead animal so that when they dig it up, all they find is the animal bones. But I never heard of the vertical thing, but it makes more sense because you'd have to make a bigger hole for a person than an animal would take up.
Yeah, that's
I mean, if you're looking for a body,
you're gonna
if
dig
you see
around
something
more.
like
Yeah.
this instead of all the way,
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
mean,
there's
I
a toe. because he's laying like this, and then you're gonna end up digging more, to get into like what.
Speaking of it,
But I don't feel like that's necessarily true, like about because I feel like if you kill somebody, you're probably gonna get caught one way or another.
Speaking of
like,
which, I remember we did a thing on Mafia for the last episode. I remember a story in which they said they actually went to dig up dead bodies that they knew that some guy knew was in a warehouse somewhere, and they originally dug up animals, and the cops were about to call it off because they're like, "This guy fed us straight bullshit." He's like, "No, keep digging," and they went down even further than normal people would bury, and you went through the animal carcasses, and then further down was the bodies.
And I know a lot of times back in the day, like back in like I would say like the Babylon years, they would like put people in like concrete, Then they would like cover the wall with concrete and just let that person die. And
Well, people still do.
so yeah,
they still do
there was
that?
actually a story that I watched where this guy, he was married, had a little kid, and what he would do is he would go off at night and he'd get these prostitutes, and like he told his wife, "Oh, I'm gonna make a pit, playground area for our daughter," and he, dug up or whatever, laid the bodies under there, and then he poured concrete over it and then put his daughter swing set over it.
That is really fucked up.
That is fucked up because that's where your kid's playing. But you got to be really fucked up to sit there and murder people because he killed like tons of prostitutes. And some of them were like, I think they said the youngest one was like 14 or 15-year-old prostitute,
Oh,
Like, so, I feel like if you're going to kill somebody,
you're gonna do it.
you're not right in the head. You don't care about anything.
To me at 14, you're not a prostitute, you're a sex slave. But
I like that one. I like that one, CRollur.
But
I mean,
I agree.
I get what you're saying, though.
I agree, but sometimes these kids do choose to do this stuff
For extra money, or
well, I guess it's you got to do what you got to do to survive. So there was this story of this kid up in New York, and I forget how old he was. I'm gonna say he was 12 or under. Okay,
all right,
12 or 10. I can't remember. So this kid goes into a convenience store and he robs the store with a gun. He has a gun. Robs the store, gets the money, takes off. And then he puts all the money, like, just throws it in the sewer. He doesn't even want the money. And obviously he gets caught.
right.
And they're like, well, why, why'd you do it? Well, I have to do it to get initiated into the game. So it's like at that age, you got to do stuff in order to survive. Like if you live in that part of the community where it's ran by gangs, you have no choice but to join the game.
Yeah.
It's sad, and I couldn't imagine.
Then there's gangs out there where they're like, oh, you have to kill someone to, be in this gang.
Yeah, there's tons of ways that you're initiated, getting jumped.
And they want to find out if you get caught or,
yeah,
if you're good at it and all that.
If you're going to snitch,
yeah. And they want you to get caught to see if you do actually snitch on, who told you to do it.
That's why I'm glad that, I'm from a small town. Like, I'm sure there is some sort of gang, maybe.
Yeah, I guarantee
not nothing like
just not as organized.
I'm pretty sure the only things we got are probably biker gangs.
Right.
If that, like, I don't think there's any organized.
But
probably up in Toledo and in Cleveland, but
yeah, bigger cities and stuff. But like, even like with biker gangs and stuff, like they always say, if you treat them with respect or whatever, then you're not going to have any issues.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like other gangs are like different.
Yeah,
like,
it's different. It's like you can go like far west, far east, and they're gonna be. If you go far east, they're gonna be different than ones in far west. So, and actually, I think a lot of gangs don't even really make that much money. I mean, they make money, but not as much as what the mafia did back, in the early days. So,
yeah,
where you had to pay for protection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably still like that, but I feel like most of the time now anymore, like with these gangs or whatever, it's just they're feuding with each other. Like,
yeah, I mean that's why they're not getting anywhere because there's always like a rival
right.
against you, and they're more concentrated on the rival than they are accomplishing anything. So,
I'm CRollur,
no Willy.
and this is.
I'm Nikki.
B.
I hope you've enjoyed our podcast.
Nikki.
Nick. Okay.
I don't like being called Nicole.
Why is that?
Because like whenever I got in trouble, that's when it was Nicole. Was
Nicole.
Nikki.
Nicole.